What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Mark here with The Better Mark. Let's get into the Friday, July 12th Major League Baseball betting card. Let's get the hat fired up, ready to go. 1-3 yesterday was my record. Not the best performance by my standards. We had a couple games fall short. Lost to nrfi, and we had the Giants drop one, as well as the outstanding matchup by Paul Skeen. So we're going to stick to that strategy, whether or not you guys like it. But it's something where I think that I've been noticing towards this All-Star break. We have been seeing a little bit of kind of, pulling up on the reins, if you will, foot off the gas pedal, like I said. A couple of these teams out there just are really doing some anomaly, kind of outlier stuff when it comes to what's happening within their performances, and it trickles down to the individual level as well. So I am going to get into that, and I'm going to go a lot of picks today. We're going to try to go a little bit more volume today. I do like a lot of stuff, but I also want to tell you guys that I'm going light with these plays. I'm going to go half unit each, just because I want to get around and through this All-Star break, okay? So that's where I'm at. We're taking a lot of plus money numbers today, and I don't want to say they're flyers, but we're just going to make a lot of plays on value, and that's kind of how I view it. Moving forward. Okay, so let's get down into it, guys. If you have not yet done so, make sure you all subscribe down below, smash that like button, and please let me know your picks in the comments box. Okay, there is a lot of room for opportunity within, if you want to play money lines today, within putting those together in a parlay. I'm not going to do that because for me, this is something where I'm focused just on these 6 bets, but I will tell you guys a little bit along the way, and you kind of can piece together my logic and get to where you need to go, because there are a lot of heavy numbers that I do like. There's just not enough for me to bet them individually, okay? But there is a chance that I might sprinkle a little something later on in the day, a couple 8 o'clock games that I do like in that regard, okay? But for the most part, it is just going to be these six plays, 5 plays really, but 6 plays if you do count same game. So let's get into it. First game up there is what we are looking for within the Dodgers and Detroit. And I do want to take the time to talk to you guys and tell you exactly what the Dodgers are doing. I mean, if you were a Dodgers fan, you can't wait for the All-Star break to come, as soon as heavenly possible. Okay, so that's kind of what we're looking at. We have James Paxton going against Tarek Skubal. This should be a dead due number on the under 8.5. That's just how I view it. It's almost a little bit, in a way, it's almost too good to be true, right? I've been playing a lot of totals. I think I have a better read on totals within this market right now, within how people are gearing up, how they're handling the All-Star break, in terms of what's coming and how these players are kind of preparing every day. That's just where I'm at. I like, obviously, the Tigers, but if you've ever kind of wondered if you'd ever lay $1.33 on a money line price to bet against the Dodgers with the Detroit Tigers in the last few years, you probably would have thought you probably had to take a urine test, because somebody probably would have thought you were on substances. But jokes aside, this is something where I'm going back to the well. I do like James Paxton. Eventually, Dodgers are going to break out. I'm taking the Dodgers plus 127 on the money line, as well as I'm taking the under 8.5. I think that's something where, quite frankly, it's a little bit of a cookie, if you will. As long as Skubal isn't on some pitch count, trade deadline's coming up, Tigers 45 and 49. When do they give up? I don't know. Those are far-fetched ideas. Who knows? Just saying there is a possibility of stuff like that happening. So keep that in mind. But for me, it's going to be Dodgers and the under. Okay. Next game, Oakland and Philadelphia, we have on the card. This is another shot we're going to have a play. I'm getting behind the Phillies minus 1.5 on the run line. This is something where I really feel like Ranger Suarez, 10-3 on the season, borderline Cy Young candidate, going against Hogan Harris. I think that the Phillies handle left-handed pitching pretty well, and at home, you can really look for, I think, the Phillies to kind of do the opposite leading up to the All-Star break, right? They've had outstanding series, I think, when we talk about what Philly was able to do against the Dodgers. That was a very good kind of talking point when minus Bryce Harper, minus Kyle Schwarber. For the likes of even Trey Turner is not fully, like, they're banged up. They're not fully healthy, and we all know that. We've all been betting that. But Philly has won 3 straight games against the Dodgers, and now they have a little bit of letdown spot against the Athletics, right? But Hogan Harris, I think they're going to get to them at home. You can't really have a letdown spot at home in Philadelphia. The fans bring it every day. It's one of the hardest ballparks to play in, and I do think Oakland, losing 3 out of their last 5, they can't wait to get the All-Star break in that same regard. So if you wanted to go Phillies team total, that's another option you can go as well if you don't like the full game. But I'm going to lay the 2 runs, take the -1.5, hope for a 2-run victory or more. All right, good morning. Get that coffee going. All right. Cleveland and Tampa Bay. That's the next game on the card. I'm not getting behind Cookie. I think that we're seeing a lot of regression from him. I didn't really like his stuff his last start. It was too much, telegraphed, and I think that's something when you saw how Taj Bradley and the Rays were hitting the baseball against the Yankees recently. I would favor the Rays in the spot. Not going to lay it though. +120 though for the Indians is very juicy. You don't see that a lot, but no play for me in this game. Okay, Yankees Orioles. We have Garrett Cole and Cade Povich. Okay, so this is something where Garrett Cole's back. I think I fully got to kind of understanding how to play the Yankees a little bit in this market. I think with the injury concerns that they've been having, he threw 4 innings against Boston, gave up 7 hits, 4 runs. So when I say he's back, but not necessarily in the form that we're all used to, right? All right, so he hasn't really been going over 5 innings max since his return from injury, and it's a mixed bag, right? 4 earned runs, 6 earned runs, two earned runs in a 1 spot against Toronto, kind of when they were struggling to hit the baseball, and I think this is a perfect spot for the Baltimore bats to get right. We got 2 plays in this game. First off, I like what the Yankees are doing from a perspective that they are hitting the baseball. I think that's something where, even though they're playing in Baltimore, it's still kind of a hitter-friendly park, in my opinion. I like the fact that you see a lot of the money on New York in this spot, but we look at the games against Tampa Bay. A little bit lower scoring for Yankee standards, and same thing goes for Baltimore, but this is something where I think this is going to be a good old-fashioned slugfest. That's my 2 cents. I think Baltimore is going to use this game to kind of bounce out of their slump. They can't wait for the All-Star break either, but they've been really reeling. Only scoring 2 runs in a 3-game series against the Cubbies. That's something concerning, but they are kind of my closet 7-1, a little bit more than that. I think you can find them out there. World Series pick just to get that futures ticket opened. That way we can hedge off of it and lock in some profits closer to October. But we are going to be looking into the over Yankees Baltimore 8.5 at -130. Love that bet, and more so a little sprinkle on the Baltimore +114 money line. Too good a value. I think this is the game. I think this is a perfect spot for the Orioles to bounce out of their slump. I look for them to get on early too. So if you want to get on some Baltimore first 5, that's fine with me too, because I think that, like I said, Baltimore gets out to a hot start. Kansas City and Boston. This is where we have the likes of who is pitching for Kansas City? Yeah, Cole Reagans. I stalled for a little bit because I don't think Boston's named their pitcher. So we are going to stay away from this game. I'm not going to take Kansas City in a spot where don't really know who's pitching. For Boston, it's a coin flip. You can't handicap this game though. In Boston, for the most part, guys, would be the play if I had to make a play, but I can't do that without knowing who Kansas City is rolling out. Okay, Nationals Brewers. This is Brewers all day. This is kind of where we look into some value. This is where I like Milwaukee going against Jackson Rutledge. This is a plus spot for Milwaukee, okay? But at a -210 price, unless you're going to couple them, the only money line parlay advantage I see here in this spot is if you would take them coupled with the Philadelphia Phillies and get that closer to even money. That's how I would play that. That's a great two-team moneyline parlay for those of you that look to play that. It's not on my final bet slip, but you guys are more than welcome to add that to your mix, as always. But I do want to find this game. Okay, here we go. Yeah, minus 210 on the card. That's pretty much it. No more handicap needed. It's Brewers or nothing. Rangers, Astros. Okay, this is going to be an interesting game. When we look at what's happening in the Battle of Texas, Hunter Brown goes against Andrew Heaney. This is runs. I don't know why the number's at 7.5. Texas basically they have a really bad problem without being able to convert back-to-back days, and not just that, it's just runners left on base. I think that it could be very frustrating with Texas at times because they can put up 7, 8, 9 runs, 10 runs plus double digits, and then the next day they score 0. So right now they lost to the Angels 7-2 last night. And that's kind of my point exactly. So I do see some runs. They are capable of exploding. Houston's hitting the baseball very well as well. I don't know why this is at 7.5, so lean towards the over 7.5. And obviously the Astros at home, I like that a little bit better. All right, Pirates, White Sox, Garrett Crochet. Unfortunately, I would probably have to go with the home team here, but I won't ever lay the White Sox minus 155 probably for the history of this season. So no play in that one as well. Okay, and we did skip over a couple, so I want to touch base with Miami and Cincinnati. This is one where you can look at kind of what they're doing from a Yanni Cheerios as well as Carson Spears. I like the Reds here, $1.42. Fading the Marlins still, but not going to play this game because that's too much, in my opinion, too much of a number to lay with Cincinnati in this spot. Okay, and then we can get into Colorado and the Mets. This is something where came this close to making my card. Love the Mets in this spot. Absolutely do. Minus 228. So maybe throw that into that two-team money line parlay, make it a three banger. But for me, I can't be getting behind the likes of. I got my final picks up there, son of a gun. So you guys get a little sneak peek to what's going on, but I can't get behind what we have going on with Tanner Gordon in Colorado right now. In New York at home, I think that's where the edge is. So unfortunately, 228 is not something I'm willing to lay. So I think that will be in my three-team moneyline parlay of the day. We'll try to put the three favorites, three chalks, see what happens. Phillies, Mets, and we'll put the likes of the Milwaukee Brewers. Brewers are probably the least confident of those three things, of those three teams. So we'll see what happens. But I do see some value in taking that, so I am going to do it. All right, Cubs, Cardinals, another one where we look into kind of this divisional kind of, I guess you would say, battle between Sonny Gray and Kyle Hendricks. Kyle Hendricks has been an auto fade this season, 1-7. He's only won one game of the decisions that he's pitched in. And Sonny Gray has been kind of, a little bit leery at times, okay? Cubs bats, I know Bellinger's out now, but Cubs bats have been one of the hottest stories right now in baseball. Like I said, they basically shut down the Baltimore lineup for 3 straight games. So this is one where, it's hard to predict what will happen, but it's hard to bet against St. Louis as well. With Sonny Gray on the mound versus Kyle Hendricks. If you're going to look at it from a pitching standpoint, sure, why not? But I kind of look at it from a kind of a momentum standpoint. If it was up to me and I want to do a little bit of a value play, it's Cubs all day for me. Plus 177. I don't care if Kyle Hendricks gets beat around. I'm just back in the lineup right now, right? Winning 4 out of their last 5. They got blanked by the Angels in that one loss. Just remember that. So it can't all change on a dime, but pretty much outstanding. We've seen, 5 runs, 9 runs, 4 runs, 8 runs against quality pitchers, against quality pitchers. So, in the most part, one of those games against Baltimore was against Corbin Burns. So, if they're able to get to Corbin Burns, albeit minus Bellinger, they're able to get to St. Louis. So, I do like the Cubs at home. And mind you, all 3 of those games against Baltimore were on the road, so they continue their little road stretch as they like to get back in town. So Cubs are nothing for me in this game. All right, Mariners and Angels. This is where we'll have an official play. We are taking the under 8.5. The Angels didn't score any runs. Here goes Tyler Anderson, one of the bright spots in their pitching rotation. going against Brian Wu, who has been pretty much fascinating since his return from injury, except for one game. So under 8.5 looks like a little bit of a layup. So probably lose that bet because it looks a little too good to be true. So that's what I'll be taking. All right, 3 games left. We'll skip over the last play that I have. We will get into the Blue Jays Diamondbacks. No play for me in this one. Diamondbacks are really hard to handicap right now, and I think the Blue Jays are starting to get a little hesitant around the trade deadline. So, looking at these clubs, this is a fade for me. If anything, I'd probably possibly lean towards taking a little sprinkle on the Diamondbacks at a minus 120 price, or even the 9 runs, I think, which is a little too low personally. So that's kind of where I'm at, but I'm staying clear of this game. All right. Giants and Twins, Joe Ryan, Kyle Harrison. This is the late night game on the West Coast at Oracle Park. This is a spot where I got to be honest with you guys. The Giants at home are very hard to bet against, but we all know how the Twins are able to just basically explode on any given night. So if we want to get into this game, it's hard to turn down that plus 123 on the Giants. That's where I'm at. But Minnesota winning 4 out of their last 5. Kind of in low scoring, non-margin games. They got off a 3-game series against the White Sox, winning 3-2, 1-3, or losing 8-1-3, and winning 8-6. So for me in this one, San Francisco losing 4 out of their last 5. This is where it gets a little murky. So as much as I'd love to take the Giants at home with a plus money, I'm going to stay clear of this game. Things can get weird. Couple that with the All-Star break and interleague. This could be a Twins blowout, or the Giants could end up getting it done. So hard to really handicap that one, so we're going to stay clear from it, okay? And then the last play on the card, all right, this is going to be with the likes of Atlanta and the San Diego Padres. I'm taking the Padres on the money line plus 113. That's where I'm going to be at. I do like the fact that we have Atlanta kind of an equal pitching matchup, in my opinion. Okay, Randy Vasquez has been good at times and really bad at times, and the same thing can be said about Spencer Schwellenbach. So I kind of view that as a wash. San Diego's at home. We look at kind of what Atlanta's been doing, dropping two. Actually, they split with Arizona. They got blanked by Philly, 0-6. And then subsequently went on to take that series though. With a 2 out of 3 from Philadelphia. So it's been interesting, but within San Diego, they've dropped 4 out of their last 5. I don't know, just going to go with some of the numbers. I think they get up for this game. They faced 2 great pitchers from Seattle. They lost 2 of 3 against Arizona, which Arizona's playing good ball right now. This is just kind of a play on the number. I'm hoping for San Diego to kind of light one on fire at home. And get this job done. So that's where I'm at. I'm all over the Padres money line in this spot, and it's actually kind of a, I don't really pay attention too much to the betting splits, but the pros versus Joes in terms of public versus, where the sharp money is, if you want to call it that. There's a lot more action on the Padres money line versus Atlanta at this point in time. I don't always use that as a rule of thumb. It's just kind of a tiebreaker for most part if I'm getting into that spot where I don't really fully know which way I want to go down. So that's kind of where we're at. Here is my official breakdown. If you have not subscribed yet, awesome. It's a perfect time to subscribe right now. Smash that like button as well. Let's get this weekend started off on a right note. So I'm giving out a lot of plays. I'm giving out 7 plays. It's really kind of only 5 because if you want a couple of those in the same game parlays, if you just want to take one thing in one game, sure, whatever. These are just kind of my leans in how they kind of correlate with each other. But I am going to be taking Padres money line, Seattle under 8.5, Philly on the run line, over 8.5 in New York, Baltimore plus 114 money line, Dodgers plus 127 money line, and the under 8.5 in that spot. So we're going a little contrarian. A lot of public money are starting to get onto these trendy teams that have been performing pretty bad. So, if everybody's taking notice that the Dodgers can't hit the baseball, today's a perfect day to bet the Dodgers to hit the baseball. So that's just kind of where I'm at. Those are my plays. You're welcome to do fade them, tail them, whatever you want to do. Quite frankly, I don't care. I won't be watching baseball tonight. Headed to a Chris Stapleton concert, so wish me well with that. But appreciate you guys watching, tuning in, as well as make sure you guys all subscribe on your way out. And we'll see you all in the next video. Cheers.